Hello friends, welcome to Holistic Health Channel. Today's topic is stress management for stress-free living. It is very essential to understand what is stress, sources of stress, mechanism of stress, and coping abilities to deal with stress, as it has been proved that more than 80% of even the physical disease are stress related. It is known as the number one proxy killer. It is an indirect killer because it is the source of majority of the killer disease such as heart attack, hypertension, diabetes and even cancer. Doctors only look after the physical aspect of the disease and they ignore the mental aspect, which is majority of the cases is the real cause of the disease. And it is said that no part of the body is left untouched by the ravages of stress, and it affects around 37.2 trillion cells of our body. Therefore, in order to manage, we have to be smart. And what is smart? S-M-A-R-T. We should have the knowledge of stress management and rightful thinking. So, we should become smart. So, how we will start with stress management? Stress management starts with identifying the sources of stress. First of all, we should know what is stress. Stress is a normal psychological and physical reaction to the demands made by life. It is a resistance to change. But as we know that change is inevitable, it is going to happen. So, there is a formula for stress. Stress is equal to pressure divided by resilience. Resilience means your inner strength, that is your coping abilities. As we can't reduce the pressure, if we can reduce the pressure, it's okay, but majority of the time outside demands will come. So, we have to increase our resilience, our inner strength, our coping abilities. If this ratio is less than 1, then this is good because it motivates us to act, and this is known as EU stress, or we can call this as motivation. But if this stress is more than 1, even if it is more than 1 for a shorter period of time and you come to your normal state of affairs within a short period of time, even then it is okay. But if this ratio continues for a longer period of time, then it becomes chronic stress, and at that time we are supposed to take effective steps to deal with it. And what is the mechanism of stress? How it develops? Your brain comes hardwired with an alarm system for your protection. As soon as it perceives a threat, it signals your body, which releases plenty of hormone, burst of hormones, as a result of which your heartbeat increases and your blood pressure is raised. This fight and flight response fuels you to deal with the threat. But as soon as the threat is over, your body is supposed to return to a normal state of affairs. But the non-stop complications of our life, in some of the cases, for some persons, this alarms rarely shuts off. So, the stress management techniques helps you to reset this alarm and get rid of the stress. If you won't do it, then your mind will always be on high alert and you will fall a prey to a chronic stress and thereby to many health complications. Now, what we have to do to identify the sources? We say that we have to identify the sources, but to identify the sources of stress is not as easy and straightforward as it sounds. Although it is easy to identify the major stressors such as unemployment, death of a near relative, financial problem, or relationship problem, whether in family or at workplace. But to pinpoint the chronic stressors, it is very difficult. And why it is difficult? Because it is very easy to ignore our own thoughts, feelings and behavior, which most of us are doing. And these are the causes of our chronic stress, day-to-day stress. We ignore our thoughts, feelings and behaviors, and 90% of the stress and the chronic stress is because of this. And we say it is because of your own team. And what is team? TEAM. Thoughts, emotions, attitudes and memories. Outside situations and people are only 10% responsible, and 90% we are responsible for our own stress. And I will give an example for that. Somebody has criticized somebody for 1 minute and he might have forgotten also. But what that person is doing? He is thinking for it for hours, days and even sometimes months and years also. And not only that, whosoever comes into his contact, he discusses that event with him. So he is reliving the pain and reliving the event which causes chronic stress. Then what we have to do now for managing this? We have to first consult Dr. Ali. Who is the doctor? You are your own doctor, because if you see the word healthy, because healthy, if you divide it into two parts, heal, die, means heal thyself. You can heal yourself on your own, because this is your own team. You only know better than anybody else that what is going on in your mind. Then what is what is Ali? Ali means, first A means accept that you are having stress, because normally we don't accept. We say I am okay, but that person and situation is creating problem to me, and if that is not there, I will be okay. So first of all, we have to accept that your role in creating and maintaining that stress, as I have given in that example, that you have created the stress and you are maintaining it also for years. So you accepted that you have a stress. Second is that listen to it. Listen to it, that by listening to it you will come to know about what are your habits, attitudes and excuses for which you are not accepting that you are responsible. Then thirdly, you have to introspect it. So by following these three steps, you will be able to identify the sources, and for that you can start making a stress journal or diary, in which you can note down following 4 points. Number 1, what are the causes of stress? What caused you stress? What event caused you stress? Number 2, what physical and psychological reactions you have got after this event? Naturally, you know what reactions you got, but if you will start noting it down and observing it, then also sometimes it subsides. By observance also it subsides. Then thirdly, you have to see how you reacted in response to that, whether your reaction was correct, and then you have to see that also. Then lastly, you have to see what you have done to make you feel better, because you are you have to take actions to make you feel better. These are the 4 points you can note down in your diary. And for your reference, ready reference, I can point out that there are 5 major psychological reasons for stress which we are ignoring most of the time. Number 1 is that most of us are having our own agenda and wants to mix up that agenda with the world's agenda because of our ego, perception, behavior, and our type of personality. Some of them are having A type of personality and want to be perfectionist and everything, and as a result of which sometimes they are always in hurry, worry and curry. And it is said that our body and mind are machines, and as every machine requires some break, our body and mind also require some break. Then this is number 1. Then number 2 is that we want to control others, always want to control others. But everybody is unique and they have their own desires and own perceptions, and they will not be controlled by us. And when we are not able to control others, what happens? We are having waste thoughts, lack of tolerance, bitterness in relationship, and then series of questions that why that person is behaving like that, why he is doing like this, and why, what, why, and these type of questions creates lot of stress in our mind, and as a result of which we get anger also, and ego also creates problem. The reason of this is that we have forgotten to play the game of life, because life is also a game. We should learn from a child. The child is enjoying the game irrespective of success and failure, number 1. Number 2, he is never disheartened by the failure, and next day, today he has failed, but next day again he is going to play with the same zeal and enthusiasm. So secondly, we should not be disheartened by the failure, we should attempt it, because attempting itself will give you an experience, and the experience will give you a blissfulness state, because it is the experience which is giving you happiness, and not only the success and failure, we think it, but it is experience which is giving you blissfulness state. Third psychological reason is that we have given the locus of control of our happiness to others, other people. If somebody praise me, I am happy. If somebody criticize me, I am unhappy. And not only to the people, we have given the locus of control to inanimate objects also. Inanimate objects such as house, a big house, big car, big aeroplane, like this, it's unending demands. Although these objects are for our comforts, but they should not play on our lives. That we should take care of that. And the next 4th reason is that some people are resistant to change. They are not even able to adopt easily, even to the positive events also. Such as, I will give an example, some people are even stressed because of promotion also, because they don't want to learn new skills and new knowledge which is required for shouldering the new responsibilities for the upgraded promotion post. Then lastly, we have, if we have, because of fear and attachment also we get stress. First of all, we want to get a thing, and then when we get that thing, we are attached to that thing, and the fear of losing it also creates stress in our mind. So because of all these factors which are in our hand, which are controllable, we can't control the situations and people, but we can control these factors. We have made our life very complicated, and here we have moved away from living the life in an easy, simple and happy manner, and then we are in dis-ease. We are moving away from ease. You see the word dis-ease, it means we have moved away from ease, and as a result of which we get stress and we get many type of disease. So now you have learned the sources of stress, and if you will identify the sources of stress, half the battle is won. If you have liked my video, subscribe to my channel. In the next part, we will be dealing with the coping skills to reset your alarm so that you are not stressed for any event. Thanks for watching the video.